Welcome to My Counselor Online. I'm Cassie, and this is Asking for a Friend. That's where you submit your questions, and I track down one of our therapists to answer your questions. So today, I have Josh with me to answer a question from an anonymous friend in Norway, and the question is this: how do you maintain intimacy in marriage when she is not physically attracted to him, or how do you regain that attraction? So thank you for your question, and Josh, thanks for coming and answering this question.
Yeah, good question from Anonymous in Norway. A lot of couples can navigate through, what if there's a diminishing of attraction, or just life has happened and there's distance and disconnect. We just don't find that passion and pursuit and connection that we once did. And how do we regain that? Can it be regained? Can we navigate that? That would be a common question that a lot of couples have out there. So let's first answer the question to say that falling out of love typically is not like falling in a hole in the ground. Then it's not something that you're just stumbling along one day and boom, happens as an event. One moment you're in love, next minute you're not in love. One minute you're attracted and enjoying and passionate about your spouse, the next minute you're not. It typically happens over time and through a series of life events that take place. It can be major events, a huge kind of crises within the relationship or life that takes place that creates this big disconnect between individuals because of the trauma that's happened. And at other times, it's the grind of little things, and that there's unresolved conflict, and there's disconnect in communication, or there's difficulty in their sexual relationship that's unresolved but leaves it unsatisfying. And over time, month after month, year after year, the distance just gets broader and broader until we're no longer passionate or enjoying each other. Whichever is the case, the key to kind of restoring that or getting back to that place is to understand, how did we get here to begin with? What were the traumas that begin that shift in our life from this person who we were passionate about and whom we loved and enjoyed and envisioned spending the rest of our life with, to somebody that we're like, or at worse, just not interested in being around at all, that we have a kind of more than just distance, we have hostility towards and a disdain for. How did we get there? Or what were the small things that just over time kind of wore out our affection for each other? We need to understand what those things are if we're going to be able to forgive those things, if we're going to be able to change the dynamics of those things and put in place things that can reverse that process. And in the same way that it generally isn't a quick, sudden, something happened and now we don't like each other at all anymore, we have this disconnect, or we don't find each other attractive or enjoy each other. It usually doesn't happen like that. It's a process, and getting back to a place of passion and enjoying each other in relationship is also a process. That figuring out what's getting in the way and troubleshooting that, learning the things that we need to do differently in our relationship to foster and cultivate that connection, and practicing those things over time is going to be a process. And so setting up your expectations on the front end to be realistic is helpful. Understand that if you want to rekindle the connection and the affection attraction, you're going to have to address the things that have created the depletion of that, the disconnect. You're going to have to learn new things to be able to cultivate that in your relationship, and you're going to have to be patient with the process of doing so. So at a high level, those are the steps that are a part of kind of turning the ship around, as it were, and heading in a direction in your relationship that can be healthy, be good, and be something that you are really excited about being a part of and being engaged in?
Well, while that sounds kind of enormous, I love that there is a strategy and there's so much hope. There's so much opportunity for that relationship. So that's exciting stuff. So thank you for your time, Josh, and thank you, anonymous friend in Norway, for your question. If you have a question and you'd like to get one of our therapists to answer it, you can submit your question on our Asking for a Friend page, and I will track down a therapist and we will get your question answered. It will post on our Asking for a Friend page and also in an upcoming edition of our weekly e-newsletter. So check for it there.